How would you like to reduce the cost of your IT department? How about reducing the number of help desk calls by 20 to 50%? Does that sound like a good thing? Of course it does. Who wouldn't want to do that? Well, with today's topic, we're going to do exactly that, and it's only going to take a few minutes.
I'm Dean Safola, and this is the Azure Academy.
The Forrester research firm did a study where they showed that the help desk call to do a password reset is on average about $70. And then Gartner did a study that said 20 to 50% of help desk calls have to do with resetting passwords. So if we can eliminate the need for your help desk or IT staff to do that work and put it back on the users themselves, you can save a lot of time and money. So let's enable Azure Active Directory self-service password reset. Now, in a previous video in our Azure AD series, we talked about Azure AD domain services, and one of the things that we enabled was password write back. Now, this is just a feature inside Azure AD Connect. Then you can reset your passwords in the cloud and have those passwords be written back to Active Directory. So that's a prerequisite for this feature to work. And you also need appropriate Azure AD licensing to use this on your traditional AD accounts. So over here in the Azure portal, we're in Azure Active Directory. And if we scroll down on the left, we can see password reset. And the first option at the top is, do we want to enable this for all or for just a selected group? So I'm going to just choose selected at this point because I'm just testing the feature. And when we're ready to go into full production, we can switch this to all. I'll just click to select a group, and then over in the user picker, I'll just select my self-service password group that I've created in Active Directory already and loaded that up with test users. And then we'll just hit the save button. And now we have to talk about authentication methods. So you have the option of choosing just one or two authentication methods. I'll take two, and that'll be authenticating my mobile device as well as answering security questions. And for security questions, you can have 3 to 5 registration questions and then be prompted at the time you go to reset for 3 to 5 responses. So I'm going to choose 5 questions and then 3 required responses. Now, if we click over here to select our security questions, we've again got some options. We can choose the predefined questions, which I'll click that. And it's your typical stuff from where were you born, mother's maiden name, where did you work, pets' names, etc. And if those don't work for you, no problem. We can also select custom and then add whatever it is you want and just click the add button. And I'll even choose a mix of predefined and custom and then hit save. So next is registration, and this is a real simple one. It's, do you want to require your users to register? Yes or no. If you choose yes, how often will they have to refresh their answers and register their mobile device? By default, it's 180 days, but you can set this from anything to 0 days to 2 years. Next is notifications, and this is pretty straightforward. Do the users get an email when they reset their password? And should an admin get an email if another admin tries to reset their password? I think both of those are good things, so we'll select those, and let's move on to talk about customization. Now, this is talking explicitly about a help desk link, so when someone goes to reset their password, they'll have a link that they can click on in case they run into further problems. But it is just a URL box, so you could put whatever you want in there. I'm just going to put the link to the Azure Academy YouTube channel and then click save. So in on-prem integration, this is where we're going to get some more mileage out of that password write back feature. And you can see when I click on it that it does go through a check to see if that is running in our Azure AD Connect. And if so, then we can use the self-service password reset feature to force that to do the password write back to our Active Directory. And if you don't want that to happen for some reason, you can set that to no. And then there's the second item. If a user has tried to log in and they're pretty sure they know their password, but they ended up locking their account for some reason, they usually have to call the help desk and get their account unlocked, which is, again, more calls, more money that you can save by leaving this on yes. And then they can use the self-service password reset portal to unlock their own accounts. And if they still can't log in, they can still reset their password from the portal and solve their own problem. So really, really easy to set this up. Let's see it in action.
If you want to master the Azure cloud, you can start right now by clicking the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Back in Azure Active Directory, we'll go over to our groups, and then I'll just search for my self-service password group, and then we'll just click on that. And now what we want to do over on the left-hand side is go down to licenses. And then you can see I've already assigned it, but I'll click on that license. And then the important thing is that you have at least a P1 license selected. And if you have more than that, no big deal. So I'll open up a private web browser and go to aka.ms/ssprsetup. Then I'll log in with the user. Our mobile device needs to be set up for authentication first, so we'll click to set it up now. Just enter your country and phone number, and then you can choose to call me or text me. I'll choose text, and then in a few seconds, you'll get a text verification code, and then just put that in and click verify, and then we are good to go. So now what we want to do is set up our security questions, so we'll click on the next line, and this is just all pretty standard stuff. Click the drop down, pick a question, type in your answer. And for the second one here, I'll choose a famous person that I've met. I'll put in Jeffrey Snover. Give me a comment down below if you know who Jeffrey Snover is, and if you do, click the like button. Then I'll just fill out all the rest of the questions here, and then we'll just save our answers, and then we can click finish. So now we want to actually put this to the test. So we're going to go to aka.ms/SSPR, and then you put in your username. I'll put in Shazam, and then fill out the CAPTCHA code, and then click next. And now what do we want to do? Do we want to just reset our password? That's the first option. Or the second option will allow us to go through that unlock process. I'll just choose the first option. And now we need to put in the same mobile phone number, which I'll go ahead and do that, and then push text so I can get my code, type in the code. Now I've got to fill out the questions that I answered earlier. And once I'm ready, click next. And now I can create a new password. Once you're done, you click finish. And the last thing for today is to show you how you can unlock those on-prem accounts. And here is the user Shazam in Active Directory. And you can see that his account is currently locked. So let's go back to aka.ms/SSPR, and then we'll sign in with Shazam's account and then fill out the CAPTCHA code once again. And this time we'll choose that second option. I know my password, but I still can't log in. And then it tells you here exactly what the details are. So let's hit next. And this is the same process that we just went through. We'll add our phone number, click text. It'll send us that verification code, which you'll put in. And then you click next, fill out all the questions appropriately. And again, if you know who Jeffrey Snover is, hit that thumbs up and click next. And now we should be able to get back into our account. So let's go back to Active Directory, and we can see that Shazam is now unlocked and you are ready to get back to work. Of course, if you still don't know your password, then you'll have to go through the unlock procedure again and then do the password reset procedure, since you obviously don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, you have stopped 20 to 50% of your help desk calls, saving piles of money, and now you can invest more of your budget into Azure workloads. Speaking of investing, why don't you invest in your Azure education by clicking that subscribe button and the notification bell, and you can always catch the latest video right up there, as well as our Azure Active Directory playlist for all the goodies on Azure AD. And give me some comments below with your questions or requests for future, and I'll see you next week. Happy learning.